Hello, my flossers. Good morning. Let's come on down to our mats. We're going to do a detox flow today. And we'll start in our child's pose. Come on down. Widen your knees a little wider than your hips. Land your forearms. You know it. Pull the elbows back to create the floss. As your elbows pull back, you'll have a gentle engagement behind the upper arm and into the middle back. As you work, we're thinking about the lymphatic system, which is our major waste removal champion of the body. It's not just removing waste, it's also distributing nutrients, important proteins, minerals, information, etc. to our tissues. Our fascia is not innervated by blood. Our fascia needs to be soaked in the sweet soup stock of the lymphatic fluid to receive nutrients and lubrication. Let's go angle on the right, on the left, on the diagonal, taking that gentle long line in your side body, starting to wake up the tissue at the base of the armpit. And even this single floss is starting to activate the tissue that is relative, not exactly right on target, but very much relative to the fascia that is encasing, supporting, housing the lymphatic and thoracic ducts, which we also know as the terminus. The terminus being the place where the lymph fluid is transitioned and reincorporated into the circulatory system after it's been cleaned out by all those lymph nodes traveling through the body. That fluid traveling through the body. Land your hands, pick up the back of the heart, start to release the tops of the feet into the floor, plug the feet, lift the heart, open the back of the neck, take 3 circles around your wrist. Feel how the reverb of the movement moves into your upper back. Reverse your circle. Good, and so we want to make sure that we're activating the areas in which the major lymph nodes cluster, or we have major areas where the lymph nodes cluster that we want to focus on. So grab a block, land it on the left side of your mat, take your cactus right arm and pop it on your block. Pick up the heart so that you're doming your spine, and then keep plugging down with your forearm. Try to land all the way farthest right that you can, and not really land. We're arcing up and over as you plug your forearm down. If this feels safe, you can keep it as so. If you want to add on, your hand comes to your inner wrist. And if you'd like a little bit more shoulder support, which I love to do, you're going to bring your supporting hand, that's the left, fingertips like spiders, just on the other side of your block, so it's kind of landing under your nose in your starting position. It's a crisscross arm, so it makes it feel complex, but you can use the leverage of the forearms to give you a little support in the outer shoulder as you take your dips. Let's go 2 or 3 more. So here, working the fascia that's relative to the thoracic nodes, as well as still working the thoracic duct on the right side. If we don't know these words, it doesn't matter. We're supporting our lymph system, which helps clear waste in our body. Last one. Good. Let's land our left hand on the block now. Unwind. Take your fingers high to the sky. Nice big inhale. Let's thread the needle fake out so it's a hover and a stay. Inhale here. Exhale to lift. So a little opposite breath work today. Inhale. Once again, exhale through. Inhale again here in your twist. Exhale to lift. Inhale at the top. Good. Working with our breath so we can get some calming nervous system tonation. So we move towards our parasympathetic as we work on our mat. See if you can let go of your evaluative mind and take 3 big circles with your arms so that we're following our instincts, following the information, the intuition, the brilliance of the fascial networks, your biggest sensory organ actually, and it helps us move in space. So we're kind of feeling into that matrix instead of moving from an idea from the mind. Good. Land your hand. Let's go ahead and ditch your block. A little forearm down. Flex through your right arm one more time. Right hand super flex. 3 circles on the sky. A little bit harder in this deeper twist. If you need to come up on your left hand, you sure can. We're working the lymph nodes in the armpit. This is our landmark number 3. in our big 6 that we're going to focus on getting to the lymph clusters in all 6 realms. Land both forearms now. Send your right leg back behind you, long line. Let your heel plug back, find your calf, opening the space of the abdominals on the right side as well as the crease at the front of the hip. And then go ahead and send your left leg back, and you can lower your chest or you can keep it up as needed. So keep a broadness in the collarbones. Bring your eyes a little bit forward. Bring your pubic bone forward a hair, barely at all. You can barely see it on my body. And then we're going to tap our knees, getting a little bit of heat to go, to flow, to come up. As we warm up our bodies, our fluids start to move. We start to move stagnant fluid that's hanging out in tight crevasses. Bring your hips up and back if dolphin's okay for your shoulders, or relax your knees to the floor, child's pose. One big inhale here. Exhale through your mouth, and then softening the knees towards the floor, letting the belly pick your arms up so we land back on our hands. Widen your knees once again, and then bring your block over to the right side of your mat. Cactus off your left arm, swoosh it across, land it on your block. You pick where your supporting hand goes. Everybody picks up the back of the heart. Keep plugging down with your forearm. Dip your left shoulder left, spreading through the tissue on your back body. Inhale to come up. So you might feel it across the left shoulder, which is where we're heading, where we're aiming. But if you feel it in your right lower back, we're also on par. Keep plugging down with your left forearm to lift your chest up and over to the left. Relax to come back up. Now, going deep is not necessarily a plus. Being connected to yourself and sensing through your tissue matrix is a plus. So we're working mindfully here. As we move mindfully, we're entraining our tissues, we're entraining our cells to move back towards the harmonious state of your innate intelligence that you already own. Life can knock us off a little bit, but we're creating a particular frequency as we move mindfully. We're creating graciousness for ourselves. It's just like how we talk to ourselves. You know, seen that study? How you speak to water and they freeze it and then it has a specific molecular structure. It's like, how are we going to speak to ourselves? The water in the body is also intelligent. The fascia holds the water as well as the lymph system. Thread the needle, fake out. Here we go. Swoop it on through, pick it up, take a nice big inhale. Exhale, curling yourself under. Inhale again at the base where it's tough with the squeeze. Exhale to pick it up. Inhale at the top when you have open space. Exhale to scoop it under. Inhale again. And exhale. Inhale at the top. You have one more round. Curling yourself under. We're compressing our organs as we twist. As you lift up, flex through your palm. Oops, excuse me, we came down first. Ditch your block and then come down on your right forearm. Then lift your hand up. The other option is great if you don't like this position for your body. 3 circles high on the sky. Reverse your circle, feeling the continuity from the wrist to your armpit, feeling that connection as you work those lymph nodes in the armpit zone. Land your forearms. Bring your knees to neutral. Send your left heel back behind you. Long line through your calf. Take a moment here, spreading the fascia at the base of the foot, creating space for your organs on the left side and space for the lymph nodes in the front of the pelvis. Very nice. Now, when you're ready, you're going to pick up your right foot and bring your hips forward. Take a little tap round. You can stay with your single knees, or you can do a double tap. Double tap's going to require a little bit more lift under your pubic bone. Stay with yourself here for 3. Widen your collarbones. 2, can you look forward? Shoulders pull towards your pelvis. 1, this time we're going to land our knees. Land your pelvis, walk your forearms a little bit forward until you feel good about your Sphinx pose. Let's go sinky chest, sinky nose. As you plug down with your forearms, start to plug the tops of the feet into the ground. Just spread the tissue wide across the thoracic spine, the collarbones in the front. I was thinking your thoracic duct and your lymphatic duct are also getting a bonus here as we compress that area in the chest cavity. Plug down with the forearms one more time. Pull your pubic bone forward, creating space in the front of the chest. One more inhale. Exhale. Let's bring ourselves on down. Pick yourself up. Grab both blocks and let's put them on either side of you on their highest height. And then we're going to take a wide stance with your arms. So if I came back, it would be like a solid V. That would be the shape. Wow, we had a little Wile E. Coyote with the hair clip today. Here we go. We're fixing that. Now, feel like your hands are squeezing inward, so you're contracting your pecs, and then keep the squeeze of the front of the chest as you dip your heart down. Pick yourself back up. Inhale, exhale, squeeze in, hug. Hug your chest cavity. We're getting deeper into the lymph nodes of the armpits, as well as lymph nodes that hang out in the chest cavity, around the sternum, under your breasts if you have breasts, but also if you don't have breasts, we have those lymph nodes under the pecs, into the auxiliary armpit space, the extra zone between the front of the chest into the armpit. If you have breasts, then we have some extra lymphatic tissue out there. Wad to the side. Keep the squeeze of the chest as you dip yourself down. Inhale to pick yourself up. We get a little fatigued. It's okay. Hang out with yourself. You can take a break. You can do some cactus pulses with your arms instead. Gorgeous. Let's go one more time. Very nice. And it's our first forward bend. Come on through. Both feet land on the floor. Inch your blocks in so that you're more narrow. Soften your knees. Bend your knees even deeper as you relax your head. And then take a halfway up lift. Long spine. Inhale. Long line here. Exhale. Soften your knees. Come on down. Bend your knees even deeper. Roll yourself up to stand. Good. Take a nice big inhale. Lift up with your eyes. See what you're seeing. Exhale, release your hands down. Roll through your spine. Soft knees as you go. I'm going to move my blocks to the top of the mat. You stay as is. And then this time we'll go ahead and traction out our neck a little bit. So my blocks are about 4 to 6 inches off my pinky toe. So that my blocks are, well, let's see, they're right under my shoulder heads. That's where they should be. And I'm going to soften my knees as I plug my feet into the ground. I'm going to plug my hands. Then I'm going to drag my shoulders away from my ears. One more time. See if you can shrug your shoulders up to your ears and then drag your shoulders away so that they're pulling down the back. And then push down again. Hands, push down with feet. One more breath. Release your head. Shiki yes, shiki no. Great for the lymphatic system to go upside down here to increase our circulation. Halfway up, lift, inhale. Right leg goes back, left leg comes forward. Good, a little relief for the inguinal crease on the right side. We're working the lymph nodes in the front of the pelvis here, and then adjust your block so you feel good about it. Back foot plugs into the ground. A little seaweed sway with your pelvis. Nice and easy, so as release. When I hang 10 towards my right shoulder, I'm almost hammocking my upper body slightly so you can get the upper attachment of the psoas, as well as getting a bit of diaphragm relief as I work. We know the diaphragm really helps pump the lymph especially once it reaches midway through the torso. Not just midway, just once it reaches the pelvis, it's getting some bonus, right? Pull your heel back, bonus support from the diaphragm, pulling the heel back as you slide back. Let's scooch up into the hamstring on the right side. Heel pulls back as you slip back. Relax to come forward. Nice, easy breathing for yourself. And here we are in the hamstring, which is our potential area of congestion. The hamstring fascia has a really big say in the whole complex nature of the fascial network. If these guys are tight, then we have a transfer of forces that are unbalanced perhaps, and maybe congested in terms of tissue density or adhesion. So as we change the fascia in the hamstrings, I'm hoping that we get a really beautiful fluid efficiency, a fluid flow efficiency. It's not a great sentence, but you get the picture. Turn the front heel out because we tend to have more density on the lateral hamstring for most of us. So we'll focus there as we pull back. I have found, especially working on clients, when we change their hamstring and they're struggling with some fluid retention in the lower leg, even myself, I get a little weighted in my fluid flow in the summertime when it's hot, when the vessels are more expanded, it creates constriction. All the cells expand when we get hot. It's just the nature of physics. Cells expand, creating a higher pressure system, harder for the fluid to flow. So when it's hot outside, perhaps we have a little bit of fluid retention in the lower legs. And as I work my hamstring tissue, and seeing this on clients, changing their hamstring tissue and their whole leg complex really helps increase that efficiency of fluid flow. Let's go one more time. I want to pick it up to a pyramid. Just say hello to it here for a second. We're going to come back to it. Just take note how it's feeling, and then go ahead and step it forward. Adjust your feet so you're in alignment with your blocks. Release your head down. Halfway up, lift, inhale, looking forward. Exhale, bend your knees. Roll through your spine to stand up. We've got a left hand grab. With your right hand, grab your left wrist. Come up and over, push down with your left heel. Bend your knees. Let's go into concave upper body, torso body, curling forward, beach ball shape. Plug down with the left foot in particular, and then glide yourself back over to side bend. We're compressing the nodes in the abdominal cavity as you work, especially on the right side. We're squishing our liver and our gallbladder, very important for our detoxing. To pick it up again, side stretch on the left. We're getting a floss on the left, a compression on the right. Everything good. Feeling this grace, this congruency, this connectivity through the fascia. As you work, bring your hands behind your head. Bend your knees nice and deep. Pick up the back of the skull as you push the head back, pull the hands forward. Widen your collarbones, big armpits. Let your heels be broad. Big, broad heels, long Achilles tendon. Not because we need it to be longer, but just taking out any compression there as you push your feet down. Lift your heart, and then as you're looking over a cliff, coming forward, flat back on your way down. Halfway up, lift, inhale, looking forward. Exhale, bend your right knee as you push your left foot into the ground. Let's take a sweep through the ball of the left foot. Keep pressing down with the ball of the left foot to create this continuity through the back of the leg. And we're doing a little micro floss, getting the cross fibers of the hamstring here as we work and into the calf. Now we're starting to say hello to the lymph nodes that live behind the knee. Last breath, inhale, exhale. Soften your head. You can keep your right knee bent. Make sure your left knee has a micro bend too, that it's not locked. I had to check myself on that. Release your head. Halfway up, lift, inhale, step on your right foot, left leg goes back, back knee to the floor, walk your foot forward, scoot your blocks so that you feel good about it, and start your seaweed sway. Blocks can be a little bit wider. Right foot can be a little bit wider. And then as you rock yourself right and left, the back foot's plugging into the ground like we practiced in our tabletop. Good. And then as I go left, I'm going to emphasize a little bit of hang 10 so I can get the top of the psoas. As you pull your shoulder up, you're kind of creating this length. Psoas attaches mid-thoracic spine. That's your middle spine zone. So I'm really feeling into any tautness hanging out under my rib cage. If we don't feel these things, it's okay. It's called interoception, though, if you're curious. And it's something that we can build upon. Some people naturally have a lot of interoception. Let me tell you, it's a blessing and a curse. Pull your front heel back and slide yourself back. But if it's something that you're interested in learning about, you can hang out with people who have a lot of interoception. They'll tell you what they're feeling, not to impose their experience on your experience, but then you start to realize, oh, I could feel that for myself. It's a potential, right? And then you start experiencing your own version of interoception, your own sensations. Relaxing to come forward. As you come forward, pull your front heel back as you go back, engaging through the hamstrings. We need it today. Here we go, a little bit of work creating a beautiful transportation network for our fluid. When we're thinking about fluid, we have a few versions of fluid we need to consider when we're considering the entirety of the ocean of your body, or sometimes we say soup stock of the body. Holds a lot of good nutrients, a lot of important minerals, ground substance as some people call it, and that fluid is lymph. When it's in a lymph vessel or a lymphatic organ, node, or duct, when it goes into the circulatory system, it's considered plasma. And when the fluid is hanging out in our interstitium or our extracellular matrix, it is considered interstitial fluid, or that's when we really think of the ocean of our body. It's kind of that. When people say I'm 70% water, it includes all three of those component parts. The sum greater than the whole, of course, creating our beautiful ocean. Let's go for a few more with an external front foot. As you work, can you soften your face? We're getting some length and compression in the inguinal crease on the right leg. We're getting some length and compression in the inguinal crease, slightly more subtle on the left side. We're changing the patterns of the fascia behind the knee, so those lymph nodes behind the knee can receive the benefit. It's pretty fun getting in gear with the lymph system. It's certainly helped me. I noticed something today when I was on my swim. Let's go for last 3. I usually, even though I wear earplugs when I do my long swims, I get water in my ears anyways, and it tends to get stuck. But I've been more involved with my lymph system for the last couple years, and I don't have water stuck in my ears, so something's working. It's great. Step on forward bend at the top of your mat. We're going to say hello to pyramid. I just want to shake this out for you. Step it back, pyramid. Find a little moment here. Just see how that feels. Yeah, let your pelvis settle. Cool. Now you can step it forward. Let's roll ourselves up, picking up your spine with your gentle abdominal hug towards the back of your body. As you come up, your feet plug down, your knees are soft, your arms are wide to the side. Let's go ahead and pull it into a little cactus elbow, even deeper into a chair today, and tap your side body. Inhale to pick it up here. Inhale to lift, look up. Exhale to bend. You can look down if you want a little back of the neck lengthening, but I really want you to find this beautiful wing bone muscle group that is your lats. Attach all the way down here. Inhale to pick it up. Exhale to grab your elbows, slide it down. And we're just giving ourselves a little bit of pulsation here as we move, imagining an easy lift and a gentle grounding, calming our nervous system down, widening through the heart space. One more time, inhale to lift up, and also practicing our coordination, right? Knees are bending, we get to the base of the bend as our elbows land. Good, finding your right wrist, pick it up, take it up and over, soften your shoulders out of your ears, push down with your right heel. Nice big inhale here, keep lifting up. With the pinky side of your hand, curl your pelvis forward, or your pubic bone forward, really. Top of the back of the pelvis goes back as you concave side and over. Little beach ball moment. Slide and glide yourself back to side bend. Keep picking up with your right pinky. As you go, you're grazing the side body. We're compressing the spleen, the pancreas, some of the stomach, the left lung. As we go, and then pick yourself back up. Side bend. Your last one takes you all the way down, downtown. Come on down all the way to your blocks. Halfway up, lift, inhale. Exhale, bend your left knee, plug down through your right foot, sway your hips. Take a sway, easy sway, pushing down with the left foot so that you can get into that cross fiber action. 2 more breaths as you work. Good. And then you can hang 10 with your head. Keep the softness in your right knee. Your left knee is very bent, as bent as it can be. Halfway up lift. Inhale. Exhale, widen your feet. Let's take a little squat moment so we can really massage the area right here at the inguinal crease. Cool. Take a block and put it under your bum if you need it. You can also have a block in front of you to lean forward. And we'll just take a little bit of groovy moment. Feeling a light lift at the pelvic floor so that we're not dumping down. I'm going to take a little sway for my Achilles once a moment. The swim actually makes my calves pretty sore from all the kick, so it's good. I'm strengthening that area. Last one here. Taking your sway, you can take twists, anything you want to do here. Good. Let's land our pelvis. Let's take kidney pose. Feet in front of you. This is for our water element overall in general. We're going to pulse this out. Good. If this is your favorite kidney, fabulous. If you have a different favorite, go for it. Knees are squeezing together, so I have this gentle hug inward towards my midline. I'm going to use my hands to gently pry my knees apart, even though the knees are still trying to squeeze in. Cool. And then I'm going to bring my arms on the inside of my legs and use my elbows for a couple of rounds and see if I like that better. It's an inhale at the top and exhale as you release forward. Couple more. I'm going to massage my kidney 3.2 between my medial malleolus and my Achilles tendon. That's the groove right between your Achilles and your ankle, inner ankle bone. If you want to push your thumbs in there, a great water point. One more. Amazing. Very good. Okay, cool. So we did some nice shoulder work. I think we can go into the front of the shoulder head a little bit before we do a bit more legs, so you can ditch your blocks for now. Let's go pericardium, getting right into the front of the shoulder head and the tissue that's wrapping and involving itself into the chest cavity where your lymphatic and thoracic ducts live. Hands pull forward as you gently tease your chest up towards the sky. Soften your elbows back down. Keep pulling forward with your fingers as you slide your heart up. And if you feel like you want some length for your hip flexors, you can flex through your feet and point as you come up. Make sure that doesn't unwind the mindful movement that you're doing for your chest or the integrity of your shoulder head. Good. Keeping a little lift in the sternum as you go. Maybe if you're safe in your neck, you can poke your chin up. Ooh, a little throat tissue moment. Getting into your thyroid. Flex through your feet. Point your toes. Say hello to the sky. Poke your chin. Last one, thinking about that little gland of the thyroid for people. Wow, just getting some circulation there, and I hope it helps. Fabulous. Okay, cool. This is a little variation, but let's go into the back body for a moment. Sit up on your block if you need to. I'm just going to be cross-legged. We could sit on a blanket. Let's go right arm on top for eagle arms. Little lift up, inhale. Exhale to curl forward. Just 3 compressions here. Squeezing and hugging. Inhale, pick it up. Inhale, look up. Exhale, curl down. Rib cage spreads on the back body, releasing through the back of the neck. Push down with the legs. As you plug your sits bones down, pick up your elbows. Good. Unwind. I just wanted to counter that pericardium movement for a second. Left arm on top. Look up, peek up. See what you're seeing. Exhale, curl yourself down, spreading rib cage, back body. Getting into the tissue and those little sneaky spots. And also compressing the chest, so moving the fluids in the chest cavity. Lift yourself up. Exhale, compressing at the abdominal cavity as well, peritoneum. One more time to lift it up. Oh yeah, creating a lot more glide and slide, unwinding our density and any adhesed areas that are creating some discourse, some unwanted discourse. Okay, let's go for a twist here. We're going to soften back through the left elbow. My right hand's on my right knee. We're going to sink back here. This is a pericardium, but with a twist. We're going to still pull forward with our left hand as you unwind yourself through neutral. You can really use your right hand to help pull yourself up. Now, please don't go too far. It's a very delicate area of the tissue in the shoulder head, but it's also a place where we get constriction. So we're going to talk to the area. We're going to engage the area. We're going to bring consciousness to that area. We're going to be very mindful of how far we go and how we're moving through this movement. This floss. Pull your hand forward as you pick yourself up. Very good job. And then see if we can hold here as you unwind your left arm. Pulse back into the right, slightly on the diagonal. Pulsing back, use your right hand to pick you up. Little gentle core awakening. Awakening in this gentle flow. One more time. Good. That's your last one to pick it up. Let's go slow roll down all the way onto our back. See if you need to hold behind your knees. Curling back, hugging back, letting one vertebra at a time go down to the floor as you release your arms above your head. Take a nice big angel sweep with the arms. And then both hands go behind your left knee pit. Kick up with the left foot. Right foot on top for quad. Picking up the chi into the gut space. Moving any stagnant fluid if we're feeling swollen in our gut. This is a great one to work on, as well as spleen and liver. We're going to get to those. Kick up with your bottom foot as you work your stomach channel and start to light up the stomach chi. Let your jaw relax. Imagine there's a nice upward movement of this heat that you're building, warming up your gut, warming up your digestive fire. You have a few more rounds here. We're also working this tissue in particular to support the tissue continuity between the quad and the hip crease. So if we're having tautness in the hip crease, this could help. Unwinding that tautness in the hip crease is encouraging the lymph nodes to have plenty of space, in air quotes, to do their job to receive the fluid from the lower leg. Okay, knees to your chest, good job. Relax. Let's rock ourselves up. Actually, let's take number 4. Let's do a little gallbladder prep. Now, flexing through both feet, left ankle on top of your right knee. Curl the legs in towards the pelvis. This is, the gallbladder is supportive to the liver for our detoxing processes, as well as holding the bile that the liver produces so it can break down the lipids, the fats that we consume. That bile is very important. Breaks it down so that it can be in the tiniest particles that the lymph system will then pick up. When the fat is added to the lymph fluid, it's called chyle, and that is distributed by our lymph system to lubricate our tissues. And guess what? Chinese medicine says the gallbladder and the liver are in charge of tissue lubrication, making sure the sinew tissues, especially the ligaments and the tendons, the more densely packed fascia. Tendons and ligaments are just densely packed fascia, or not compressed, but what is the word I'm looking for? You got it, compacted fascia. That fluid is needed to lubricate the sinew tissues. All right, that's enough lecture. Knees to your chest, relax. Rock yourself up. Come on forward. Just checking that's on still. We love that for us. Soften back with your chest just to here. Ooh, my sacrum adjusted on that. Ooh, I'm feeling the change between my left shoulder and my right shoulder. Just mentioning these things so you can check it out for yourself. Not trying to persuade you of any kind of experience that you might be having or not having in your body. Last one. Okay, we're going to take our twist now. Left hand comes to right knee. Lean yourself back into your right shoulder. Pull your fingers forward and start to pick up your heart. Pull yourself back down, release. Hand pulls forward, heart sneaks up. Ooh, so I'm starting looking over the right. If it's available to me, I start to look left or really center. I'm barely getting to center, but I'm just being very gentle with my shoulder head. I think we have 2 more times. I'm using my abdominals, my gentle core work here, hugging the tissues towards my spine to create this movement as I'm leveraging my hand on the floor. Okay, halfway back here, pick it up, take an inhale, and then slide yourself a little bit forward, and then go back on your left diagonal, pulling back, still using the left hand, against your right leg as you slide up. This side feels harder, picking your heart up, sliding yourself back down. You have 1 more time. Woohoo! Slide it down. Both arms come forward, hug a tree or hold behind your legs. Slow roll down through your spine. Nice support. Posture is very important for lymph flow, right? If we have posture that's not supportive to an easy, efficient fluid matrix flow, we've got our quad first. Kick up with your right foot. Right foot keeps kicking up, left foot on top. Keep swooshing that foot down. Oh, wow, it's a beautiful red cardinal. It's a good sign for us today. Kick up with your right foot as you slide the heel towards your pelvis. Taking in the air into your lungs. Let your back body drop down. Let the crown of your head open. Let the base of your skull widen. And really receive the change that you're creating for yourself as you work your quad tissue. Let the quad change. Let that tissue that's relative and continuous into the front of the hip flexor also change. We sometimes have to let ourselves change, not just do the things that make us change, right? We have to allow the change to happen. Last 3, nice and juicy. I added a smidge of an angle on this side because my lateral quad on my right tends to be taut. Beautiful, everyone. Last one. Basta. Well done. Bring your foot across. Bring your hands behind your left knee. Both legs are flexed. The right ankle is kicking into the left leg to gently engage the tissue on the outer right hip as you drag your legs in. Relax your pelvis and relax the legs back over your hips. If you are someone who likes to do the shoulders and the head, you can go ahead and bring those up. And we have 3 or 4 more. I'm going to play my angle for this glute. Good job, everyone. Well done. One more breath. Fantastic. Let's add liver here. We got to do liver if we're doing a little cleaning house. Squeeze in with your knees, keep squeezing in, and then pry your legs apart. Relax to come up. If you want to add your shoulders and your chest, you look up and through as you gently pull your abs down towards your spine. Good. I'm going to hold on from the back, but I'm still reaching around far enough to grab the inside. Figure out which hold you want for yourself today. It's a hug of the knees in and a pry of the legs apart. Amazing. Let's go for 4 more. We got this. We're going to push the envelope just a smidge. If you need to rest, rest. Last 2. And 1. So nice. Relax it back. Now, half happy baby on your back. If you love this one, you can also take a block and stack it under your thigh. So you have a nice wedge here as you work. Really supportive. See that guy? Just stacked it. Did a little kickstand. You can do this guy. Or you can come up. Let's go. I'll go right leg first so we're together. We can come up into your dragon lunge, which we love for our mucus inflammation management program. We're also supporting the spleen and the pancreas when we work this. Spleen is half of the function of the immune system, half the function of the digestion. And the spleen is like a super lymph node, the biggest lymph node there is, producing B cells, which are very helpful for our immune system. Special white blood cells that go out into the body and do some good, juicy work for us. So pick your spleen, one of my favorite lymph supportive flosses. And we're thinking just about the fluid in our body in general. If we're quite mucousy, if our fluid is less than clear, which it's not always going to be clear, like when we eat some good fats, our fluid gets a little bit more milky. But if we're eating a lot of things that makes our fluid a bit more opaque, then spleen can help us with clearing the way and decreasing the mucosal production, especially in the gut, in particular in the gut. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's tuck our back toes. Let's send our legs long. We haven't really visited a downward dog. If you're on your back, you can stay there and switch sides. If you're up here with me, just go ahead and find a little bit of a moment here to breathe. Good, and then we're going to walk our left leg forward, pull your front heel back, slipping yourself back as you slide forward, relax, heel pulls back. If you're on your back, your heel kicks down towards your pelvis and your arm lifts your leg up. A great thing you can do if you are on your back is put a block under your head besides wedging it under your thigh. Good work, everybody. Way to hang out with yourself today, right? The hardest part, always getting on the mat. Not the actual practice, because hopefully this feels somewhat enjoyable to you. And if it doesn't, holler at your girl. We'll make it work. Nice and juicy as you go. See how the prep of those hamstrings was important to get into spleen channel, right? Getting the more denser zones on the outer leg so we can access the inner leg. More delicate tissue in here. Fun. Last two. Last one. Let's heel toe that foot in. If you're on your back, gently rock yourself up. I'll meet you in pyramid with the left leg forward. Back to our pyramid. We're going to just do a couple glide and slides here, pressing the hip with a little sass to the left. Push down with your front foot, and then gently glide the femur head back to neutral. So we're giving a little sass over to the side, and then we're feeling the rotation in the hip socket as we pull back. Now I'm doing this on lymph and detox day because I'm thinking about, once again, the transportation of the fluid, the tissue that even surrounds special veins that have extra contractile capacity to pulse the fluid from the lower leg back up towards the heart. Those veins are actually impacting also the lymphatic vessels that also have to pulse the fluid back up towards the heart, but they don't have a pump like the heart has a pump. The veins get to pump, but the lymphatic fluids have to borrow the motion from the veins to help with the pulsing. Of course, walking, little bounces on the heels, like if we did a trampoline move, which we don't need a trampoline to do, a rebounder. You can just do it with your heels. Any of those kind of motions are helping pulse the fluid back up the leg. But when we have a nice, clear transportation network of the fascia, then things are going to get a little bit smoother. Smooth operator. Let's go right hip to the right, plug down with your right foot, slide and glide your booty to center line, and then give it a little scooch out to the side. Just the right amount that feels good. And then if we have ankle stuff, this is also really great for your ankle, especially if we're swollen on our ankles. We're working the entire continuity of the tissue from the foot up to the pelvis. And when we say we're working the whole leg continuity, we're working the whole matrix continuity. If we're working our toe, we're working our nose. So that's just how it goes. But this is our focal point right now. Last 3, please. Nice and focused on the right foot. I'm finding the blade of my right foot, but that's also causing me to anchor my big toe mound down. Nice. Let's step it forward. Little bounce of the pelvis, soft knees, let your head go, shaking up any stagnant fluid we moved as we flossed today. Really that amazing action of compression and release, besides changing the tissue quality, we're also forcing fluids to move around. You can take that bounce. Oh, let's stay here as you bounce. Take 3 circles with your arms for your upper back release. Just this nice feeling of ease. Reverse your circle. Roll yourself up. Bop, 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 bop. And then we'll just bang our heels a little bit. I'm going to face back because this is more solid ground for me. You can just bang your heels as you go. See if you can soften your organs. Your arms can start to shake loose if you feel safe for your wrists and your elbows. And then they can come over your head. And I'm really not thinking of any kind of holding here. I'm letting it rip, letting it go. Maybe a surrender movement for a thought, a feeling you had that you wanted to let go of here. Knowing that your fluid matrix is also helping you take care of any of those residues. Last 3 and 2 and 1. Just stand tall. You can put your hands on your body somewhere, feeling a little softness in your knees, but power in your feet. Widen your collarbones, widen the temples. Let your earlobes hang, let your ear canals open. Nice big inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. And you are all done, so flossed out and ready for your day. Let it rip, team. I'll see you next time.